Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. Okay, people, some American news out of a place called Mechanicville, New York. Now, this just happened a few days ago, about 2 or 3 days ago, June 2026. White American woman by the name of Sarah Myers, age 44, and her mother, Amy Stedman, age 64. These two took the lives of their 4 small people. These are Sarah Myers' 4 children and her mother, Amy Stedman's grandchildren. These two got together and did this, okay? Again, people, this is out of a place called Mechanicville, New York, Saratoga County. These children, Harper Harmon, Hudson Harmon, Gavin Harmon, Grace Lynn Harmon, ages 13, 11, 10, and 10. What happened was a neighbor requested a welfare check because they had not seen this family since June 9th. Police went in there and seen 6 bodies. The mother lived in this place and the daughter and the children. They lived in separate units though, but they both had a place to live in there. The cause of death, the police say, one of the children had a fatal sharp force injury like a stab wound. The other 5, everybody else, including the mother and the grandmother, appeared to have been poisoned using prescription and over-the-counter medications, which is a big-time problem in these places with white women. These prescription drugs are just, I think we'll get into that later, but large amounts of medication were found in this apartment. There was also a handwritten note inside this apartment, but the police did not release the contents of that, okay? But they're saying that the mother and the grandmother are involved in these deaths right here, like they did it, you know what I mean? The police have no evidence of an outside suspect. They believe that this happened inside the apartment and these bodies have been there for an extended period of time. So you may be thinking, where's their dad at? These children's father, Brady Harmon, he lives in Utah. He hadn't seen these children since 2019, but he had just reached a custody agreement to start seeing them July 1st. Okay? He said that their mother, Sarah Myers, was under CPS investigation in New York. So this woman has some issues, probably, a drug junkie or whatever, whether it be prescription or on the streets, confused, messed up, might have just been an evil person, who knows? You know what I mean? The dad had just got visitation, but also look, a few years ago, back in 2022, the grandmother had a post on social media for people to donate to the GoFundMe to help her daughter with this abusive man right here. Probably wasn't lying. This dude out in Utah now, he hadn't seen his kids since 2019, probably abusive. Why hadn't you seen your kids since 2019, white man? That's terrible. You know what I mean? That's wild. But this is a shame, man, what happened to these children because some adults wanted to do this. And this is going on. This is going on in America. How could any American look at the news, and point the finger at other places in the world? We're talking about a place, the world's richest country, supposed to be the land of opportunity, a place where people go to make it. A white woman has way more opportunity than a black woman or anybody else. You know what I mean? Of course, from our point of view, we look at it like, regardless of what they think, when you live the life of a black person and you know what black women go through, you know what black men, black children go through, we look at a white life like, man, that's what you complaining about, weakling. But a lot of corruption, Satanism, drugs, alcohol, these people are over-sexualized. They promote it, They promote drugs. These people are hypocrites. So this other situation out of the state of Massachusetts is about to be resolved now, okay? Now, this is a white American woman by the name of Lindsay Clancy, Massachusetts. So this woman right here is a labor and delivery nurse. In 2023, she took the lives of all 3 of her children, 5, 3, and 8 months. Okay? She knew what she wanted to do. What she did first, she sent these children's father and her husband on an errand. Go ahead and go do this, go buy this. So when he left, she just went and grabbed her exercise bands, strangled all 3 of the children. Then she tried to take herself up out of here by cutting herself and jumping from a 2nd-story window, which the fall left her paralyzed. So she's about to face the music in court. She pled not guilty. Her legal team is trying to get her off not guilty by reason of insanity. So they're trying to say, oh, well, she's got all these mental issues. Her husband is standing by her also. But listen, this is my thing. You sat back with you made a decision. You planned this. You sent your husband on an errand. You know what I mean? Her and her husband have filed several lawsuits against medical providers, alleging failures in her psychiatric treatment. I'm telling you, a lot of these women, more than 60% white American women, suburban women, are on drugs. And the pharmaceutical grade drugs that they're taking for depression are destroying them and making them more nuts as well. Temporary fix, of course. You know what I mean? But look, this woman right here knew what she wanted to do. If you were a straight stone nut, you just go ahead and do it. You send your husband out, you want to do it in peace. So she's facing these charges, and next month, she's supposed to face the music for this. She didn't blame a black man like Susan Smith, though. Remember Susan Smith in 1994? A while ago. She did this to her 2 young sons, and then she blamed a black man kidnapping them. At least this lady didn't blame a black man. You know what I mean? She could actually do that and get somewhere with it. Susan Smith knew what to do. You know what I mean? But people, it's wild out here. These people are supposed to have it all together. They have access to everything, privileged, and this is what is going on in their families. This is what a lot of them are doing to their children. Get in the comments easy.
Lindsay Clancy, the Duxbury mother, is charged with murdering her 3 children. Yesterday, we learned the judge for the trial is allowing Clancy to not be present during testimony. Boston 25's Bob Ward spoke with a defense attorney who says it's rare but not unprecedented.
The Lindsay Clancy trial is set to begin next month in Plymouth, and now her lawyer is signaling that he might ask that Lindsay be excused from her own trial when graphic evidence is introduced. Boston attorney Peter Ellikin tells me Clancy has that right, but it carries some risk. The facts in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial are highly disturbing. The Duxbury woman is charged with strangling her 3 young children with exercise bands after sending her former husband out of the house on an errand. Clancy herself is now confined to a wheelchair, paralyzed after jumping from a window in an alleged suicide attempt. Clancy's lawyer will argue she was not criminally responsible because she suffered postpartum psychosis and was over-medicated. In this pretrial hearing, Judge William Sullivan granted the prosecution's motion to allow autopsy photos as well as Lindsay's ex-husband's emotional 911 call as he discovered the scene.
I'm still looking into whether I can have her not even be in the courtroom during that.
Defense attorney Kevin Reddington told reporters that evidence might be too emotionally debilitating for Lindsay Clancy, and he might seek to excuse her from court when that evidence is coming in.
I don't even like to be there in murder cases and look at half the stuff that you have to look at. I don't understand how, she's going to be able to have the strength to go through that.
It's true, a defendant does have the right to waive presence during the trial, usually with the judge's permission. That is very, very rarely done.
Boston defense attorney Peter Ellikin tells